it is literally 5 days away until the beginning of next generation. The Xbox Series X and S releases next Tuesday, and the PS5 releases next week also. So if you're a hardcore gamer like myself, these are good times. And I know you guys are truly excited about next generation. But first off, I want to say I've seen a lot of reviews for the Xbox Series X and also the Xbox Series S. They're out in the wild. IGN, so many different websites and YouTube channels are doing reviews for the Xbox Series X and S. And the common theme that I've seen with the reviews, as far as the Xbox Series X goes, they're saying great console. It's a true next-gen console. But there's always a but. The Xbox Series X doesn't have that first-party software to show off the true power of the Xbox Series X. And that seems to be the case. You know, we all said that the Xbox Series X launch lineup isn't that great. They don't have that big first-party game. We know Halo Infinite was supposed to be that game, but unfortunately that game got delayed until next year. We know the Medium comes out next month, but that's not a big AAA game either. So we all know that is the issue with the launch lineup for the Xbox Series X and S. They don't have that software to show off the capabilities of the console. Now, with the Xbox Series S, some of the things I've seen is it's a good little cheap console. It's definitely not for the hardcore gamer. If you're a hardcore gamer, most likely you will be picking up the Xbox Series X if you're an Xbox gamer. But they said it's a good console, but the storage is definitely an issue. The storage is only 365 gigs of storage. And that's not a lot, especially when you think about some of these third-party games like a COD being 100 some odd gigs, you know, so you definitely need to expand the storage. But the Xbox Series S, personally, to me, is for casuals. It's for casuals or those PS5 console gamers that's not PC gamers and they happen to be interested in some future Xbox first-party titles, and where they don't want to buy an Xbox Series X. Maybe the Xbox Series S is the console for them to be their side console. So yes, there's been some good reviews for the Xbox Series X and some mixed reviews for the Xbox Series S. But it goes back to my original point. The Xbox Series X and S launch lineup. I've said it multiple times on podcasts. I've said it in previous videos that the Xbox launch lineup this holiday isn't great. And we all know Halo was supposed to be that game. But yes, you know, things happen. This has been a difficult year, COVID and everything else. But I always tell people, these are investments, right? These consoles aren't things we're going to buy and then get rid of immediately. No, we're going to have these consoles for years. And of course, Xbox has a very bright future with the games they've announced, and we know these games are coming. So if you don't pick up an Xbox Series X at launch, I guess I understand it. You know, they might not have those games that you really want to play. You can play on your current Xbox One now. Now, if you're a hardcore gamer, I'm pretty sure you're picking up a Xbox Series X or a PS5 at launch. But I also want to talk about something that PhilSpencer said. PhilSpencer had an interview with a Spanish website. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the website. But Phil said some very interesting things when asked about the launch lineup for the Xbox Series X and S. When asked about the lack of brand new Xbox Game Studios titles arriving on the console November 10th, Spencer admitted there's no argument that people would be even more excited if more first-party games were available at launch, but also pointing out that the Xbox Series X and S is a long-term investment for early adopters. That's just like I said, it's a long-term investment. It's a long-term investment. There's plenty of things we've bought in our home that we've kept for years. When we first bought those things, they might not have been exactly what we needed at that time, but you bought those things knowing about the future. You're going to use this thing for years to come. And that's the case with me, and I guarantee a lot of other Xbox fans in this community. Now, Phil also said, in the long run, you're making an investment in the best ecosystem for you to go play, and that is our focus. I would have loved to have Halo Infinite at launch. People know that was our original plan, but I also have to be conscious of the health and safety of our teams at a time when teams are working in an unprecedented situation with hundreds of people trying to build video games while they're working from home. So yeah, like I mentioned, I'm not making excuses for Phil or Xbox or anything like that. COVID has been an issue, obviously, for the entire world, not just the gaming industry, but the entire world. But I still wish they had 1 or 2 AAA first-party games at launch. Absolutely. PlayStation managed to have those games available at launch. Even though I know Spider-Man is not a full game, it's probably still going to be at least 7 to 8 hours worth of content. And as far as Demon's Souls, that game actually looks good. It's not a game for me, but the game looks good. And yeah, so I just wanted to do a video about these things. And like I always say, guys, it's an investment. PhilSpencer said it himself. It's a long-term investment, right? Long-term investment. It's like buying a refrigerator and you don't have much food that first day. But I guarantee you're going to put food in that bitch eventually, right? Yes, it's a long-term investment. That was a terrible analogy, but you guys catch my drift. Well, anyway, I'm about to get out of here. If you happen to stumble upon my channel and you think I'm decent enough, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? And if you subscribe, go ahead and hit that notification bell to know when my black ass is doing some new content, baby. All right, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Shit. Damn, man.